How you doing, guys and gals? Welcome to the channel. My name's Callum X. As per usual, the patch notes have been released and I'm going to talk you through and explain them to you so you don't have to read them. So if you enjoy that and you want that, don't forget to leave a thumbs up, subscribe and hit the notification bell for more grounded content. The new update is obviously coming out, 0.2.0, I believe. And yeah, we're going to be playing it live. So first of all, the update is released on the 26th of August. If you want to know exactly what time it's going to be released in your time zone, then up above the screen right now, there will be a little link. Click that. It will tell you exactly what time it's being released throughout the world. Right, so onto the bug fixes. All platforms are, so these bug fixes are basically for every single platform. So if you're on Xbox, you're on Windows PC, or you're on Steam, these bug fixes are going to be for you. Okay, they're going to be on every single platform. So first of all, incapacitated players are now saved instead of ignored when a save game is made or they exit the game. So basically, if you are, you're down and you get kicked out, or if you're down and you leave or whatever, for whatever reason, instead of when you come back in, your backpack is completely disappeared and you lose all your stuff. Basically, you'll come back in and your backpack will be somewhere on the game, where you died. There'll just be a backpack, very similar to what you have in some other games. So you're not going to lose your stuff anymore if you're incapacitated and you get kicked out or you leave for whatever reason. So you're not going to lose your backpacks for that. Items and insects will spawn under the world less. All right, so this basically means they're not going to never spawn in under the world, but they will do it less. They're trying to fix it. However, when the game loads, it's now going to clear anything that's fallen through the world when it loads in. So you should, hopefully, if you find, oh my god, so you've been playing it for hours and hours and hours and stuff has stopped spawning and things are going into the mesh anyway, leave, load the game back up again, and you should find that all of those creatures, ants and aphids and things like that have gone underneath the mesh should be killed, disappear, and everything should start spawning again. Okay? Insects should no longer spawn inside of the large pond rocks. Thank goodness. That was like... yeah. Any insect currently in the rocks upon load will be snapped out, as I've just mentioned in the point before. So this should help with insect populations and egg spawns and things like that. Grass planks will no longer fall through the ground, which is nice. Hedge berries appearing in incorrect positions for clients, making them difficult to harvest. So the hedge berries won't appear in positions that are difficult to harvest anymore. Torch sound effects are going to be fixed, and insects should no longer walk through walls when you're not looking at them or when they are at your far away base. So they shouldn't be able to just glitch into your base, which is nice. You don't want a spider glitching into your base while you're not there. Right, major updates. Multiplayer clients will no longer crash when despawning droplets containing items. Optimized building collapsing, so the game will no longer lock up when collapsing huge structures. I don't know if you've tried this, but have a massive house that's actually relies on maybe only a couple of foundations. Knock the foundations out, and the game can literally lock up or crash because of all of the, everything going crazy. That's not going to happen anymore, and it will also no longer crash when collapsing very long structures. Obviously, everyone's been building massive bridges. Shouldn't crash when you collapse them now. Buildings can no longer be placed in invalid locations during their grid snap interpolation. So this means that you can't place something where it's not supposed to be, whereas sometimes they kind of glitch and go crazy. Flashy, 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 you can click go and it will just place it even though it shouldn't be able to. So that's a thing. Gnats will now need a little more delta V than a bounce web can provide if they want to go into space. Basically, a bounce web is no longer going to propel a gnat 600 miles up in the sky. Fixed a problem where insects would not become appropriately hungry and sleepy after the player slept. I don't know what that is, but I can only imagine that the hungry part of it is possibly to do with ants, and sleepy part of it may be to do with spiders and ants. I don't know. Either way, they're fixing that. Right, so for items, equipment, and resources, standalone buildings that are attached to walls and floors will collapse as well if the floor or wall they are on collapses. So sometimes there's a glitch where when you destroy the floor, the workbench or whatever that's on it will stay there. That's what that means. It shouldn't happen anymore. Large rake rock now has proper collision. Thank goodness for that, because yeah, it looks like rake rock. The top of rake rock is a mud. Soda pop can now be dumped from a canteen, so that's good. Fix water droplets near the sprinkler and the oak tree that respawned immediately when you approached. Obviously, that's why a lot of people, saying that, build a base on the oak tree because you've got a constant supply of water. It won't be constant anymore. It will, be the same as how it's supposed to be. Fixed gas arrows not being one-time use. Now, I don't know about you, but I didn't even know that they weren't supposed to be multiple time use. And I've been using gas arrows a lot. So this is probably going to annoy a lot of people, but now gas arrows are not one-time use anymore. You have to... sorry, they're not multiple use. They can only be used once. I really think, and this is something we discussed on stream, I think it would be a really, really cool thing if a gas arrow, when you fired it, maybe you can pick it up again, but it's a normal arrow again. Like, I can understand the gas part of it being used and then it's done, but wouldn't it be cool if it became a normal arrow and then you could take that away and then you go and turn it into a gas arrow again? That would be cool. But anyway, gas arrows, they are now single use. Rotten bee armor can no longer be repaired for free, which is pretty, that makes sense. Workbench light will no longer be disabled after loading a save, so that's cool as well. As far as the UI is concerned, they fixed wall crenulations appearing inconsistently on clients and the host. Wall crenulations appearing incorrectly after loading a saved game. Fixed fingers moving on weapon hand during one-handed movement animations. Restructured the third-person body aiming for unarmed punching. They fixed scab bugged scheme not appearing in the list correctly. The resting UI updates properly upon bedtime. Scab won't flash thirst and hunger danger if the levels are good, so if you're not going to die, it's not going to tell you are. Defrag button in the inventory can now be navigated using the gamepad. I personally play on PC, so I didn't know that was actually a bug, but there we go. So if you're playing on Xbox or if you use a gamepad, the defrag button can now be navigated to. Less explosive results when using the drop stack action. I know a few people have asked for that, or asked for like a backpack that you can drop on the floor when you drop a stack. That was probably a cooler idea. But now basically you drop some woven fiber on the floor, it's not going to explode and appear like, everywhere across the garden. Fix the clover hood and the poncho description being the same as the leggings. Again, didn't notice that, but there we go. They fixed that. Unfinished buildings no longer block the third-person camera. That's cool, because too many times when I'm building something, I end up, like, staring at the inside of my character's face. It's very weird. Swapping armor after having collected raw science no longer displays the material of the previously equipped armor. Water mask for global volumetric fog no longer leaves fogless voids in the world after having emerged from a large body of water. Again, I've never seen that bug personally myself, but basically what that means is sometimes when you go in the water, you come out and there's just areas of the world that don't have fog when they should. That's not going to be the case now. Puddle drinking animation and the camera improved to address clipping issues. Okay, so those are all the fixes for everybody. This is just a Windows 10 store version bug fix. So they fixed issues with the 4K full screen resolution failing to work properly on Windows 10, and also fixed issues with Alt-Tab crashing the game on Windows 10, so that's cool. Fixes for Xbox One. They've reduced the screen edge artifacts and the flashing. I think a few people are going to be a little bit annoyed that the Xbox One, there doesn't seem to be anything about saved games in there. And I'm a bit surprised. I don't know if it's just in there, it's just going to be involved in the patch. But there's definitely nothing written down about it. So we don't know about that. Last thing, this is a little bit extra, just for those of you who hung around till the end of the video. Thank you very much. By the way, I hope this video helped. They are going to definitely add tables. That's something that we can see here from this photo. So there we go. I'm going to leave you with that one. We've got tables now. Don't forget, you can join me live when this patch drops on Twitch. Go follow me now. Link is down in the description. Of course, like I said, find it useful, thumbs up, hit the notification bell, subscribe for more grounded content. Have a fantastic evening. Get some rest. And I will speak to you guys in the next video or live on Twitch, whichever one you fancy. Be safe. Take care. Bye-bye.